Hey guys, and welcome back. So this is actually going to be part 2, which is actually going to be the actual reading for you guys. This is a message, like I said earlier, from your soul to yourself. There's two options. Either you choose to take yourself out of those situations that you need to take yourself out of, or set up your boundaries with certain people that you haven't set them. And I'm not talking just about your DM, I'm talking about people in general that you have around you. Or they're gonna, not in a nice way, show you exactly who they are, and it's gonna be a bigger hole to get yourself out of. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. But the energies around you that are so completely fake are going to show their true self to you. So you already know where the boundaries have to be set. And you already know the people that you need to distance from. And the people that you have to leave completely behind. And when I say that, it's not a permanent thing either, because the whole point of this journey is to raise everyone's vibration. So you can call it a temporary pause from people. So wouldn't it be easier to set your boundaries, to get your distance now, than to have somebody do something that's going to hurt you so badly that then you're not where you're at right now, but then you're going to regret so much? Because that's what's going to happen. You're going to go into a blaming phase to blame everybody else, because nothing is ever going to be your fault. And then you're going to have to do the work that you have done so far to get to where you are now in a couple of months. So why would you put yourself to repeat the same exact thing? There are people that are going to try and bring up your past when you try to set these boundaries. When you try to, sorry, my bow in the wall. When you try to set the boundaries, when you try to distance yourself, people are going to bring things from your past. Maybe things that obviously you've healed from, and things that maybe you weren't so proud of. But they're going to bring it back up. They're going to try to surface it to try to trigger you. They're going to try to bring it back up so that they can keep you at the same vibration that they are. Now, an example. I am what you call a bitch. Nobody likes to be around me. So when I had first started this journey and I was trying to change, and I am trying to look at everyone's soul versus their 3D body, if I had one slip where I would say something or make a certain facial expression, oh, you're saying that you're changing, but that but is where the phrase is going to come in for the trigger. So what do you have to do? You have to recognize that it's coming and stop it in its track. So now if somebody calls me and say, oh, and I'm like, oh, no thanks, I'm going to stay home. Oh, you don't, I'll let them talk. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'll tell them that's your opinion. That's your view on it, and that's okay. Oh, but you're not, no, I don't have to explain myself to you. You don't. So if you cannot have a conversation or a delegation or whatever you want to call it back and forth without allowing those things to actually get you, like get inside your mind where you're not going to be able to push it out, then my suggestion is to just don't have those conversations right now, because the whole point is to improve, to go forward, to progress, not to regress. And we're not all at the same level, so we're not all able to recognize something as it coming, because sometimes things are said in a sarcastic way or in a like a joking way or something like that, and we'll get triggered a few minutes later or an hour later or a day later, and we're like, why am I thinking of that? And then it's like a week or two later, you're like, oh shoot, remember when they said this? And that's where. So we need to get to a point where, regardless of how things are being said, we need to be able to listen with our soul, not these regular ears that we have. You understand what I mean? Because that's how the words and the triggers, everything slips in, and sometimes it doesn't manifest right away, and it will just simmer there. And then you're thinking that you're okay, and you keep progressing, and then when it's seeing that you're getting too high or you're moving too forward, it pushes you completely right back down. And then you're not where you're at, you're actually below now at the point, because you're not exactly sure where this is coming from. So then you start to doubt yourself. So just be careful about when people are trying to trigger you in certain ways. Standing in your truth is not being mean to other people. And if people believe that it is, then that's on them, not you. But do you rather be seen by others as being mean, or being mean to yourself? Because not standing in your truth, not following your heart, not following what's inside of you, you're neglecting yourself, you're hurting yourself, you're being mean to yourself. So what do you hold at a higher value? My kids, my 9-year-old, he's a cappy like me. And I had told them I had signed up for volunteering. And like I said, I have a mouth. And when I was working, I was under a lot of stress, and I was always angry, I'm not gonna lie. He goes to me, he's like, you know, Mom, I love you. And I'm like, I love you too. So he goes like, you know, it hasn't happened in a long time. I'm like, uh-huh. He was like, but I just want to let you know, a lot of the kids in school don't listen. And I just don't want you to lose your cool, because when you used to lose it back then, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, buddy, I know. But I cannot get mad at my 9-year-old for stating something that at that moment back then was true, because he knows that that's no longer who I am. He knows, he's seen me, they have all seen me cry, they have all seen this journey, and everybody can have their opinion on it. But my kids, when they see people, they see the good in people, and that's where we are to. That's where we're supposed to be heading towards. Because us, the generation that is out here now, we're not the new generation. It's those kids that are in school right now, those grade school, pre-K and all of that. And for them, they are the ones that we are trying to make sure that they grow up in a world where they can just be themselves without having to pretend to be somebody else. So, yeah, my kids, sometimes I say, I'm like, you guys have no filter. You guys say things like without thinking. But it's not that they're not thinking. It's just that's what their soul is resonating with. And that's what that's what needs to come out. And that's what they do. And then we have a little routine. Like we make them, I have them do certain things. Like, okay, why do you feel that way? And we try to get to the root of things. But that's nor here nor there. Excuse me. But it's just that if you are so afraid of being alone, because that's what I feel, it's like You're so used to being surrounded by people. Next time you're around people, take a moment to yourself and tell me how full you feel. Because you can be surrounded by hundreds and thousands of people, but your soul is not connecting to any of them. So you feel completely empty regardless. So why not do the reversal? Take a day to yourself. Take yourself out for dinner, lunch, drink. I could go right into a bar, order a drink, take my little notebook and pen, put my headphones on with my music, and sit right on there and have my drinks with my little whatever I feel like eating that day. Usually a cheese quesadilla, I don't know why. Or I'll get some, usually cheese quesadilla. And I'll sit there with my drink, and I'm not saying that you have to go and drink. What I'm saying is, this is what I used to do when I used to get out of work on Fridays. I would go to the bar by myself after work and have one drink with my music on at the bar and my notebook. And people will come up to me and people, oh, you're waiting for somebody? No. Oh, I would take myself out to lunch. Oh, just one? Yeah. Oh, is somebody? No. A lot of people do not like their own company because they haven't given themselves a chance to know who they are. So if you want other people to value your company, to want to be around you, then why don't you give yourself that? Whatever it is that you want to do. And just the crying that is coming out, if it hasn't already started for a lot of you, I call it soulful. Soulful. Oh my God. Can't even say the word. Crying. Where, have you ever cried that you literally feel it like coming from like inside of you? I don't even want to say like your gut. I say like my uterus hurts from when I cry. I'm a female, sorry. And then when you're done, you go into like this, that's when I get to rest. I think that's why I like crying. I go into like this peaceful sleep where I don't dream, I don't anything, I just rest. My body goes into complete like restful. And when I wake up, I feel like amazing. Now I've also cried. When a boy breaks your heart, you just want to cry. And you go to sleep and you wake up with like the poofy eyes and stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about. When I say you cry from your soul, you purge out so much that when you wake up, you look like you just freaking went and spent like a whole day at the spa. Like my skin, everything just looks new. So, and I used to do this thing where I used to schedule I would schedule my purges, my crying, because I didn't want my kids to see me crying. Now, if I am doing something and all of a sudden I start crying, and they see me and I'm like, I am okay. I have to release something, so I'm going to go to my room. I am fine. Unless I physically, like you hear me calling like help or something, or I call someone's name, even if you hear me screaming, ignore it. We have certain things certain things that we do to, set up so that they don't hear me as much. But I don't schedule, because I don't like scheduling. Like, it's not that schedule them, it's just like I'll carry like that sense of wanting to cry like all day long until they went to bed, and then I will muffle my cry with my pillow. Where now, if I feel like crying, I'm just gonna fucking cry. I'm human. Like, this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to purge all of this crap out, not suppress it in. So don't suppress your cry, because it needs to come out, and it's beautiful, and it's going to come out one way or another. And the longer you suppress that, then the longer is is going to last, if that makes any sense. Because if you have a feeling of crying today and you hold it till tomorrow, then it just builds up. And the more you hold it and the more it builds up, then the more energy that attached to it that you're going to have to purge. So I always say, if you have the feeling to cry, just cry. I don't care if you see me crying. You know, I've been woken up, like, because I do, like, when I cry like that, a lot of the times I'm already, like, in my room, I'm already dreaming. And I've been woken up by my DM because he would be afraid, because, you know, with my condition, since I spend most of the time dreaming, my heart rate, my blood pressure, everything is elevated. It's as if I'm not sleeping most of the time. So it's just funny because I feel like as if, like, if this had happened like 3 or 4 years ago, I would have been so embarrassed to, like, do that type of crying in front of him, even if I'm sleeping. He's tried to wake me up if I wake up speaking in other language. He calls alien language or whatever. And I keep telling him, I was like, you need to start recording me, because I don't have no recollection of it, but whatever. So the first card that came out was Protection, Guardian. Drop your shields. Now, again, this is a message from you to you, from your soul. Let your guard down. Allow those tears to come down. Allow to feel the pain. Nobody wants to feel pain, but without pain, how can you truly know what joy is? So let that internal fear of not wanting to be seen as weak or whatever it is, let it down, because the healing that is going to come from this is going to be beautiful. It's going to be amazing. I'm actually going to do an energy shift. Make some people cry later on tonight. Today's Wednesday. You guys want me to wait till Friday? The seer. See beyond the current situation. So this to me clarifies is about the triggers, about people are going to... Some people are bluntly just going to go ahead and say the water. Some people are just going to come bluntly and say things. And some people are going to smooth it in. So you allow your shield to get down. You allow to purge what's inside. And then when these people come around and want to go ahead and slide things in, triggers that are going to try to trigger you later on, you're going to be able to see it and be like, not today, bye-bye. And not tomorrow either, so go on your merry way, pack your bags and go. And I'm not talking about, like, people in general. I'm talking about, like, because I speak to when certain energies are trying to come through, and I'm trying to shift them, and they're giving me pushback, because I've had a lot of pushback. Like, exactly. So just, pay attention to what people are saying, or what people want to watch or listen to around you. What type of music, what type of shows. Father Sky, trust in the unknown. All of this entire journey is about trusting that all the tears, all the hurt, all the pain, all the growth, we know that there's something more, but we're not exactly sure what it is. But what we do know is that, what we do know is that where we're at now is not where we're staying. And I want to say thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later on with a video from your DM. Bye-bye.